A century or two ago, it was unimaginable to think that a certain type of technology could exterminate humans. We didn't think this way because science and technology were still in their infancy. The first time a certain technology worried humans about their potential extinction was when atomic bombs came into being. The scientists working on the Manhattan Project in the United States worried that the explosion of atomic bombs might ignite the atmosphere. Humans would no longer exist if the atmosphere were ignited. Concern for this scenario came from the fact that when an atomic bomb explodes, its central temperature could exceed millions of degrees centigrade. In traditional chemical burning, a temperature of several thousand degrees centigrade is high enough to melt steel. The scientists had no idea what it would be like to have a temperature in tens of millions. Yet the demand for a new weapon in the aftermath of fierce world wars, coupled with the innate curiosity of scientists to explore the unknown, encouraged them to develop such a thing. So atomic bombs came into being and exploded without igniting the atmosphere. Later, H-bombs were developed as a result of atomic bombs. The power of H-bombs is much stronger than that of atomic bombs, with a central temperature as high as hundreds of millions of degrees centigrade. Despite the concern, H-bombs were developed and caused no ignition in the atmosphere. In 2000, a device called the RHIC was built at the Brookhaven National Laboratory in the United States. At that time, a scientist argued against this project, urging that it shouldn't be allowed. Why not? Because he was worried that the high-speed collision of particles might create a mini black hole, a tiny hole, or some dangerous particles. If the mini black hole were stable, it would absorb Earth and turn into a black hole smaller than a ping-pong ball. Someone in favor of the project replied that he was worried too much and that the black hole would disappear. He was referring to Stephen Hawking's black hole theory. According to Hawking, a black hole has an incredible attraction, which can polarize the neighboring vacuum and thus make the black hole disappear. The smaller a black hole is, the quicker it disappears. A black hole as tiny as a particle disappears at the moment it's created. And the scientist against the project replied that while we do have such a theory, it hasn't been proved yet. He also stated that Mr. Hawking reached this conclusion through deduction. But we have too much to lose. We are betting the destiny of the whole of mankind. Despite this protest, the project was still implemented, though without Earth being absorbed by a black hole. In 2008, the LHC was built in Europe. The LHC is much stronger than the above-mentioned RHIC and has significantly more power, and someone opposed its creation as well, arguing that the project should be rejected. However, it was allowed to proceed, and the Earth was once again not sucked into a black hole. So I published an article at that time in Hong Kong under the title, A Crazy World. I queried what was so important that it was worth betting the future of mankind on it. What can we base our values on outside of our very existence? As two sayings go in China, One passing by the river all the time is doomed to get wet. There will be a ghost when there is a lot of night walks. Is it too hard to understand these obvious truths? To continue on our current path is like playing Russian roulette, making repeated attempts until our extinction is guaranteed. We are still making attempts in increasingly diversified fields, and with advanced science come more things that may eliminate all humans.